Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. This is your host Fury, and in this Behemoth Typhoon, I'll be giving you my first impression of Guilty Gear Strive's first DLC. The absolute secretary of Big Chungus, Goldlewis Dickinson. That's my dead name for the video crossed off the list. Now, where were we? Ah yes, Mr. Dickinson. My ideal choice for the first DLC was Happy Chaos, as some of you may be able to tell. Click the card at the top right. But I do think Goldlewis is pretty cool too. The general structure of this review will go lore, gameplay, strategy, and finally, matchups and tier lists. The chapters should be in the progress bar if I figured out this YouTube thing. My ability to use YouTube aside, let's start talking lore. Goldlewis is the American Secretary of Defense whose personal hobby is hunting cryptids, and despite carrying an alien in a coffin straight out of Area 51, he doesn't actually believe in aliens for reasons. And that's it for the lore. Goldlewis is new to Guilty Gear, so he doesn't have that much on him, but if you want more of the big guy, he is in the story mode, which is more than I can say for some characters. With the lore out of the way, let's move on to gameplay and strategy. Gameplay-wise, please take my words with a grain of salt. Goldlewis is brand new, so new tech might be discovered, and there's patches on the horizon, so things might change in the near future. Goldlewis is a rushdown mix-up character, much like a certain top tier. Unlike Soul, Goldlewis is a big, chunky monkey falling into the heaviest weight class. He's what happened if you made Potemkin or maybe Nagaryuki have a baby with Soul. Slow moves with decent range, yet he has an air dash and a ground dash, so I guess Leo has a buddy in the heavyweights who know the secret art of running. This makes Goldlewis a rather odd character, since rushdowns tend to have the attention span of someone who watches my videos, yet Goldlewis plays a very patient game. Of course, that stuff isn't even the most unique thing about Mr. Dickinson. You see, every character in Guilty Gear has something that makes them unique. Giovanna has lots of class moves, Chip is Twitter combo fodder, Soul is bullshit, needs to be nerfed, and Goldlewis has 8 versions of a single special, or specials. I mean, the command list does show Behemoth Typhoon has 2 supers despite it being one move with 8 different versions, so... Anyways, Behemoth Typhoon is Goldlewis's special sauce. This actually gives Goldlewis a pretty good mix-up game since he can do it from pretty good distance. Behemoth Typhoon does get bonus points for being good fun to mess around with in the dojo. I made a personal game of seeing how many Behemoth Typhoons I can fit into a single combo. My personal best is 3, the combo for which you can see on screen. There's one dude who managed to fit in 4, which is just perfection. I saw this after recording the video, but someone managed to fit all 8 versions into one combo. It's glorious. The 8 different versions of Behemoth Typhoon give Goldlewis a lot of answers to any given situation, but to be good at Goldlewis you have to know the best one and to be actually able to do it. I say that because Behemoth Typhoon uses half circle inputs, not quarter circles, and you are going to fuck it up and lose a match. A little piece of advice I have is that you have to hold the final position of your half circles to get the move to actually come out. I'm honestly baffled by this man's 3 stars when he has all of these whack inputs. Beyond being death to your fingers with his half circles, he has this handy dandy little meter above his tension. That meter is for 2 of his specials, one where he sends a drone after his opponent like a true American, and the one where he imitates the heavy from TF2. The more meter, the more damage and range you get. His minigun, Skyfish, is a pretty good move. You either force your opponent to take some damage or eat away at their meter, and both of these are pretty good options for how often you can use it. His standing far slash is probably his best normal. It's got enough range and speed that it can beat out a lot of options. His supers serve more to enhance his mix-up oriented strategy. His down the system is your regular frame 1 invincible, but burn it down is something special. While it's slow and doesn't do that much damage, it persists even if you get hit and comes from your opponent's back. It provides a lot of visual noise that is perfect to use for a cross-up. With all of his moves out of the way, let's start talking matchups. Goldlewis's bad matchups are Ramafel, who can outzone with ease. Same goes for Faust and Zato, oddly enough. Another bad matchup is Giovanna, whose plus frames barely give Goldlewis a window to counterattack, and Soul because, he's just Soul. His worst matchup, bar none, is Axel, who can do this to him. On the tier list, I place Goldlewis about here, right in B tier, maybe low A tier. He has good damage and health, but his lack of ranged options really put him in a bind. That's on top of some normals that are surprisingly stubby for his size. Anyone decent at keep away can make Goldlewis's life a living hell. No wonder he got stopped by those guys with guns in story mode. With all of that out of the way, let me give you my final thoughts. Goldlewis certainly isn't the best character. I'm honestly on the fence if he's even that good, to be honest, but he is fun to play. There's something about the goofy big guy that just puts everyone in a great mood. For me, he's not the character you win games with, he's the character you make friends with. And you know what? That's good enough. Not every character has to be this meta-defining thing. At least that's what I think. Remember to take these with a pinch of salt. These are like day one impressions, so things might change in the near future. Obligatory check out some of my other videos and card. Oh, and be sure to remind the UMA that he still owes me $7. Without further ado, this is your host Fury, getting the hell out of here before Goldlewis can add this alien to his collection.